النفسية تعبان يعني اللي تجي للنفسية.
يعني نفسية تعبان يعني كمان، يعني مش مخلينا نصل أراضينا ولا اللي نأخذ حريتنا بالغنم يعني ولا أرضنا نزرعها.
عارف يعني بقت أهون شوي،
يعني باقي مشاكل،
باقي مشاكل بس
بس مشاكل خفيفة.
يعني الحين يسخروا الطرق علينا.
بس بقينا يعني نتصل على الشرطة، الشرطة يسوي نتيجة يعني الإدارة المدنية. الحين مع الوضع يصير مشاكل، بنتصل على الشرطة ما بسوي شيء.
ليلة ما أخذوهن ضربوا أبوهن، هذه قامت ترج صارة تراجع من الخوف،
صور صارت تنزل من خشمها دم يعني، وترجف فيك يعني تنتفض خايف.
عايشين
يعني بلادنا عايشين وواعيين وبعرفوا الخوف وبعرفوا يعني بيعرفوا الجيش والمستوطنين وبيعرفوا انهم هذول يعني بيسووا مشاكل وبخوف.
I kept hearing every boom that I hear on the news in Gaza, and it just twisted something inside of me. Like, I felt those emotions coming out. I was scared. I was scared because I thought our situation is gonna become like the situation in Gaza. I was terrified, actually. It could be me next. They are arresting children. The raids are absolutely terrifying, and I can't help but feel that I am obligated to take this like little taste of what the people of Gaza are going through. I feel like I'm guilty if I say I don't like this. I feel bad about this. I feel sad about this because this shows like this much of how much they're experiencing. They actually arrested the neighbor who lives who lives like above me, a floor above me, and they arrested a friend of mine who also is my neighbor. He's gonna be 6 months in their prison.
What Palestinians and particularly Palestinian children have been experiencing is a complex continuous trauma. We know as a mental health professionals, PTSD means that's something that has been in the past. And the first thing that you do in order to call or label the trauma that a person is experiencing is to remove the victim from the conditions they're living in to a safer condition. However, Palestinians are not being able to move or not being able to escape what is been happening to them since the day of the Israeli occupation in 1948 until today.
My friend, her aunt live in Gaza. We went to her house to study there. She was talking to her aunt. How are they feeling? What's happening? Like a minute, like one silent, they hear like a boom, like a strike down her auntie apartment. Her grandchildren died, her children, and she was the only survivor. You have all your family around you, and you are having a good time, and you are talking with your another family from another country, but like a silent and boom strike down, like you are the one survivor of your family.
So when we talk about trauma, usually people think that I have to be the one who experienced this trauma, so I can have, for example, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Many people, they don't know that even the exposure to this trauma also can have the symptoms of PTSD. For example, everything is available on TikTok and like all social media. People feel guilty if just stay away from news. They feel guilty. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen the news today. What's going on? So people, they don't understand that this exposure to trauma, you might have it, like we call it secondary trauma, and secondary trauma is real.
If I want to study, like I cannot focus what is happening. Like I cannot focus in both things, maybe studying or what's happening. I go out of my room to my parents. My father worked as a journalist. He like watching news. My mother is like crying what is happening. Like this mother lost her children. I could be that woman. Like this boy lost his whole family. Like I could be that one. Palestinian or my age, like feeling that we should worry every minute of life. We should take it as a chance to increase our awareness what is happening, to study more.
When I sit, I just hear the news and I can't focus on my book. I have to like look at the news and see what's going on. And if I don't see it, I hear it. And it breaks my heart, really.
Many times when individuals seek my advice in terms of children on secondhand trauma, and they say, what should we do? I mean, for children, I say, do not expose them as much as you expose yourself, because it's gonna impact them. It is gonna affect them. And it's really important to be careful on how much exposure you give these children.
What's going on right now, it's affecting everyone. Every single person. For the youth specifically, where they like to be at this age to have this sense of control, they are not controlling anything. They are not even controlling their emotions. They are not controlling what's going on. They are not controlling that they sleep. They don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. And this brings anxiety. Most of them, they feel hopeless. They feel helpless. This time, it's hard for them. It's hard as a youth to live in a place where nothing is certain. The situation is really bigger than all of us, honestly. Even myself as a psychotherapist with all this experience in the US and here, sometimes I feel like what interventions we can use. The trauma that they are going through, we never seen it before.
As a parent, you want to give the best things for your child. As a teenager, there is many, obstacles to raise a child in the world, on all. But as a Palestinian, you have many obstacles to raise your child to know his rights first. You can't imagine how stressful is to watch where is the soldier and to be sure that your kids return home safe.
I'm 15, a 15-year-old is supposed to go out, have fun, be with their friends. But at this time, I feel like it's my responsibility to be at protests, to be calling for a ceasefire, to be calling for help for these people. It is my responsibility despite being young. And I feel like someday, when I'm in my 20s or 30s, I'm gonna have to pay the price for missing this part of my teenage years. But it also feels like an obligation for me.
Feeling guilty, it is real. It is a real emotions that we have as individuals, and experience that as a secondhand trauma. It is important also to recognize and realize. I will tell you, some people, it's not only that they watch and they see and they feel guilty about what is happening and not being able to do about it anything, but I will tell you, I even experienced the guilt of eating. Well, I know that my family in Gaza cannot eat. I feel guilty to go to sleep Despite, yes, I talk to my family, I try to help my family, but I know in the end of the day, I have my safe bed that I can go and sleep to, while I know my sisters, my own sisters and my own brothers are being bombed. It is really important to recognize that we as mental health specialists, we can do our best to help teach these children coping mechanism to deal with all the symptoms I have described. These symptoms could stay and last until you say goodbye from this life, There is no magical solutions to it. And these symptoms could stay with these children as they grow up and as they become men and as they become fathers or mothers.
I think personally, I will someday have to pay the price for that. I will someday have to pay the price for bottling up my emotions during this time. I'm genuinely so heartbroken, and I'm somebody who's more empathetic. If I see a video of someone crying, I will start crying. So just holding that back, right now I'm holding all of it back. I'm keeping it inside. One day it's gonna come out and I'm gonna have to deal with it. I don't know when and I don't know where, but I know that it will eventually come out. It will not stay inside.
مشكلة الصحة النفسية في الضفة الغربية وقطاع غزة والقدس أيضاً مشكلة كبيرة وعميقة. كثير من المشاكل النفسية التي ظهرت هذا قبل العدوان هذا الأخير الذي نحن ما زال مستمر على قطاع غزة وعلى الضفة الغربية وعلى القدس. هذه التأثيرات ظهرت في نتيجة دراسة البنك الدولي والجهاز المركزي للإحصاء أعلن عنها بداية العام. هي أجريت على السنة الماضية وما قبل الماضية. وجدوا أن 71% من سكان قطاع غزة يعانون من مظاهر الاكتئاب، و50% في الضفة الغربية. 9% ظهرت لديهم أعراض اضطرابات ضغوط ما بعد الصدمة. هذه الإحصائيات بتطرق ناقوس الخطر. ما هو قادم أعظم بالنسبة للصحة النفسية؟